and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to have the Broncos first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
A 7-yard gain. That's good for a Broncos first down. A gain of 7. First down, Denver.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Nix. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 47-yard line.
2nd and a couple. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
And the Broncos first down.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Here's Nix. A short throw to Ingram. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. On the sneak, it's Nix. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
Well, that play seemed well scouted defensively. They collapsed everything inside. Nowhere to go on the quarterback sneak. Now it's going to bring up 4th down.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. Here's Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. They only needed that 1 yard going for it on 4th. I got to be honest, I thought they were going to stay on the ground. They surprised me. Did they surprise you?
I'm with you on that one. I thought they'd find a way to create some type of a power run and try and pick up the first down, but they decided keep the ball in the hands of the guy who can throw it, and it paid off.
And the decision paid off indeed. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Now it's Nix. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And the Broncos are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. One more time with Dobbins. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, Is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
They'll try and throw. Here's Nix setting up a screen for Harvey. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
We're scoreless after 1. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 4th down coming up. They're going. It's Nix. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They throw for it on 4th and goal at the 1. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That first down run could not have turned out worse for our defense, because when they came out on the field, their number one mission, keep them stacked up close to their goal line, and at worst, create great field position for their offense.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That good for 19 and a 1st down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 44 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And they'll go again with Etienne. Oh, nice one. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards.
That's good for our Jaguars. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities. As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. Third down.
Brings up third down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Lawrence will throw. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the Broncos are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
And the Broncos first down. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard
His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Off the play fake. Nix. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Franklin. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yards, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete the pass there for another first down.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by the offense.
Two minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing Nix. Throw left side complete. That's Franklin. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Nix to the air. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. That is Joshua Hines-Allen working his way in for the sack.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's taken in by Franklin. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 23. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Working out of the gun is Nix. Wide open receiver complete. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Marvin Mims, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos.
Makes the score. Broncos 7.
So that drive in total 8 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
For the Broncos.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone. Could potentially tie this game up. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
17 yards.
Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Lawrence to throw. They'll drop that underneath to ETN. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Second down and a yard. Now Lawrence to throw. That's complete to the rookie from Colorado. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
That's to the 43-yard line.
From the gun, it's Lawrence. That's complete. It's Brian Thomas. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
At the Broncos' 33-yard line.
To throw again is Lawrence. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
A lot of receivers to run free, and there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Lawrence. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
A 50-yard attempt.
Absolutely perfect. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
A final shot before break. Nix. A short throw to Ingram. Halftime coming up. Let's get you downstate an hour or two to Scott Hanson. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is a game, Charles, it's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that first half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the third quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trailed by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half. Second half starts with a run by Etienne.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Now Lawrence. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. He completes this to Sutton. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll bring up second down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8 at the 26-yard line.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Trayvon Walker collapses the pocket and drops him for a loss of 3. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Bryant. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be 4th down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Well, now how about this return? And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10. At the 45. They'll look to Etienne to start things out. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 76 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
And he stopped immediately there. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 3rd and 2. They'll run with Etienne. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that 1st down gain of 8. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Fourth down. Here's Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down. They finally caught up to him there at the end of the play, but great inside handoff, and what a powerful run.
The first few yards seemed relatively easy. Then it got tougher, right? And that's where he showed that he was not going to go down easily. He was not going to be denied until he got everything he could out of that run.
And he's going to take this down to about the 17. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. This carry, despite the extra effort, will be stopped short of the 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
On play action, here's Nix. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Evan Ingram, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. 5 plays there on that drive. And Evan Ingram able to finish it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
For the Broncos.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride to the offense this go-around. Dances by him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 97 yards now for Etienne, and he's got a first down. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
On first down, right back to Etienne. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So we'll get the penalty all sorted out when we get back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Lawrence. It's complete to Brown, right side. That's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You've got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
It's complete to Parker Washington. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
A gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Lawrence. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 25-yard line.
That's good for a Jaguars first down. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll make it 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
In motion left comes Brown. To throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence. Complete to Washington. And they got it inside the 10 at the 8. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense, diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. On the RPO, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Jaguars 10.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Broncos offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Second and 9. And this one complete again to Mims. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Here's a give to Dobbins. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. The Broncos send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he'll get this away into the humid Florida sky. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So here now, Lawrence and the Jaguars trailing 17-10, a minute 55 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Here's Lawrence. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Throwing now, Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Partner, you get about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. A big play needed, no doubt. 3rd and long. Lawrence. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
Here we go. This is 4th down. Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence finding Washington. And he'll be out right at the 35. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Back to throw, Lawrence. And he'll get it right back to Washington. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Final minute. No timeouts at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. To the right side and complete to Thomas.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 37-yard line.
Here's 2nd down and 3. He's back to throw. He'll get that underneath ETN. And ETN going to have a Jags 1st down as he'll get the ball down inside the 30. This one came right down to the wire, and CD, they had that one final chance to try to navigate their way into the end zone, but couldn't get it done to avoid the loss.
Yeah, and how about the defense there? Because while they had one final look at the end zone, the defense made sure they knew what they were doing on the last play, executed it flawlessly, and no flags. Because remember, if there's a defensive penalty, there's one play left in the game that the offense gets. They didn't allow that to happen.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Jacksonville.